The average person spends over 900 hours on social media every year. Just think about what you could do with all this time. You could learn a new skill. Even with only 400 hours, you could really get good at something and see progress in doing something. That's the one thing. You could learn a skill and actually use the time you're wasting right now on social media or screens in general. But to be honest, there's even something more meaningful social media or just screen time in general is taking away from you. And it is your connection to yourself. Because think about this, if every 3 minutes you have in your day gets soaked up by some kind of screen. I mean, I get it. That's just the normal thing to do because it is easy, it feels good. But if you really do that and put every single minute you don't have to do something for someone else into a screen, then you lose the connection to yourself. Because then you are just doing the stuff that someone else tells you to do, like for example in school or work, or things you have to do, like doing laundry or whatever. But what's missing is you actually using your time for yourself, exploring your interests, maybe learning a new skill, just being yourself, doing something, exploring your interests, learning new things, instead of just being passive, looking at a screen. Because that's one of the least personal things you could do. I mean, just sitting there, scrolling, looking at a screen passively, that's not you. It's just this passive consumption state where you look at stuff other people created and other people's ideas, but you don't let your brain work for itself. And of course, if you do this all the time and don't let yourself connect to yourself and to your interests, of course, then you'll lose that connection. Just look at it from this angle. If you put every minute of free time into a screen, is that the life you want to live? Is that the life you want to look back on? It's your decision, but I don't think that's the life we're supposed to live. I think every one of us has some unique interest, something unique about ourselves we can explore and that feels meaningful to us. But if we don't explore that and just consume all the time, this spark of uniqueness just goes away and dies. Because you're not investing your time, not investing your brain power into exploring those interests. Of course, I don't think you have to stop using social media or looking at screens completely, because that's not the point. If you think Netflix or Instagram is worth 1.5 hours of your day, then that's fine, that's your decision. The point is just to not only do this stuff, to not only consume in your free time, to do something, to explore. I mean, wasn't there something interesting to you as a kid? Something that just felt good to you? For example, for me, it was something like numbers. So in school, in the breaks, I used to sometimes just calculate stuff. I mean, really random, but that's just what I did. And I like this kind of understanding systems and thinking really analytically about stuff. That's, for example, one of my deeper interests. Just find that for you. Of course, it won't come like you stop scrolling and out of the sudden you are connected to yourself. But just start with something that just seems interesting to you. I mean, if you want to play the guitar, if that's something that sounds cool to you, that's also something unique about you. Because not everyone thinks playing the guitar is something they would like to do. So just start with that. Maybe that connects you to something deeper. And even if it's not the thing you want to do for the next few years, that's one data point. And that's one thing that gets you nearer to just being yourself and connecting to yourself. And those data points you don't get through just watching stuff, consuming all the time. Those data points is something you get from doing stuff, from trying stuff, from just exploring. And if you're not sure where to start and want some action step on that, then just think about what you liked as a child. That can be a bit hard, especially when you're a bit older and your childhood is further away. But really just think about it. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. The stuff you do instead of scrolling or just consuming doesn't have to be some crazy magical thing that instantly feels good to you. It just has to be something that maybe feels a bit interesting to you. And then you'll get those data points. You'll get the knowledge if that is really something that fits to you. Or if it's not, and then you can go into another direction. It's just about starting and keeping with exploring. So the action step, just in a single sentence, ask yourself what was interesting to you as a kid and try something out into that direction. At least doing that, connecting to the stuff I liked as a kid and going a bit deeper into that, is something that made my life feel more meaningful. I know starting can be hard and it will probably never really feel easy. So if something about this video resonated with you, that's the sign you should just give it a try, even if it not feels that good at first. Think about it that way. You really have nothing to lose, because my point I'm trying to get across to you is just that you should spend some amount of time you would otherwise just be consuming, that you spend that time just on exploring your interests. So in the nature of this advice, it really can only make your life better, I think. Because the only thing you're losing is maybe an hour of consumption that wouldn't change anything. I think this exploring your interests is really something that compounds over time. Because if you think about yourself on your deathbed, maybe at 80 years old, and you look back on a life where you just spent every minute of free time or most of your free time just consuming, then I think your personality won't really develop in the thing it could be. And if you just consistently spend a bit of time on exploring your interests, I mean, that shouldn't feel that bad to you because they're your interests, then you really build something over your life. A personality and a character that really fits to you. I hope this video gave you some kind of insight, and here's something to ponder on. On what kind of life do you want to look back on?